Hi, I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
And we are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Death Note, episode 35. I have 3 questions that I'm hoping will be answered by the end of this episode, and they will be answered. Number 1, will we see Mello this episode? I miss my man. I hope we see him a little bit.
We have to see him soon. I mean, he needs to have more of a role and or has been doing things underground that we're going to learn later about.
I started off absolutely despising him, but now that I haven't gotten him, it's like this gag a little bit of oh my god, I kind of miss just seeing him in the story, you know? I don't know. I kind of like his design too. Next question. Will Misa be released from Nier's invitation because she agreed to it, right? Technically. More Mochi, but she is just hanging out there. So they all know where she is, so she can't be really utilized in any type of way. And 3, will Mikami be detained? We have pictures, or Nier has pictures of the Death Note, that's the fake, from Mikami's locker. Will he be detained through that? I would assume so, but the whole thing's a bit, right? Light sees it coming.
I have a feeling that obviously since we're super, super close to the end of this series, that whatever happens in this episode that we're about to watch is going to basically start whatever the
end is.
It's going to start ramping up whichever direction it's supposed to go in, which I still, at this point, don't really know what the satisfying ending for this series is. You know, for Light and Kira does, get caught. Is that satisfying? Because, I feel like I'd be torn on it. What would actually satisfy me in terms of, justice?
I agree. I mean, it doesn't have to end with justice, of course. Maybe the most satisfying ending is no justice, or a twisted sense of justice, but I'm not sure.
I like what you just said about maybe a satisfying ending would be no justice, because it'd almost be starting from, ground one, where there never really is true justice every time you think that there should be. Sometimes there's justice and sometimes criminals get the punishment that they deserve. But, other times it doesn't happen, especially to what different people would deem the appropriate punishment. And, maybe that is somewhat satisfying of an ending to have things kind of never really had changed.
Yeah. This show is definitely all together, 34 episodes in, has been a life-changing experience a little bit. It's definitely up there in my top shows, from episode 1 until now. I'm hoping that they are able to end it in such a way, you can rank a show when you're a season in and it be A tier, S tier, but it's hard to really say that a show is amazing without having a capped off ending and being able to rewatch it or read it and then say it's a great show. Hunter x Hunter, I'm obsessed with, legit, but it's hard to say it's a perfect show or a great show or S tier show when it's not complete and the manga's still going on. So I'm hoping that Death Note is able to kind of stick the landing, for lack of a better way to put it.
I feel like my expectations and hopes for this show were really, really high before starting it, because I so often saw people reference it in real life or cosplay it or Halloween or it seemed to be the show that if you ask someone if they've watched an anime, they would probably say, oh yeah, maybe they'd only watched one anime, but it's probably Death Note.
Yeah.
And so I had really, really high expectations for this show. And I think that is hopefully that doesn't do a disservice and I can appreciate whatever ending is coming.
Yeah,
but I know we're going to start probably winding up or winding down to whatever the ending is.
Yeah. Interesting. I wonder if the ending is going to actually end on like a bang, there's the ending, or it'll be like a gradual like, okay, all this is happening and this is like going to be showing me the new world, I guess, whichever world that is.
And is the ending of Death Note the anime the ending of the manga?
That's a really good question.
Does the story
continue?
So.
I would imagine, but I don't know.
I would imagine that, I mean, this show is seemingly to me very, very popular and well known. So if it was not finished, I would assume it would get
like a
more.
Yeah, like
more episodes, a reboot if they didn't show everything.
Like from what I understand, we haven't watched Full Metal Alchemist or Brotherhood, but from what I understand, at some point during Full Metal Alchemist, the manga and source material wasn't there yet, and the anime caught up to it, so then they had to go their own direction or something like that. They did a similar thing in Dragon Ball Z in the Frieza Goku fight, I think. It's always kind of scary
when that happens.
Yeah, so people requested it to be remade, and it was true to the manga all the way. I am on like the bandwagon for that to happen to Soul Eater as well. I want a remake of that.
If we had a remake of Soul Eater, we'd be the happiest.
I've never heard anybody want a remake of Death Note, in my circle at least. So that leads me to believe it is like a manga-centric ending.
It's full and it's done.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Sweet.
You ready, Soul? It's instinct now to open my mouth when it starts.
One of my dreams for like every show we watch once we're done it is I want to like, it would be a very expensive dream, but I want to like own the complete manga sets of every show that we watch.
Even if we don't love it?
It'd be hard not to love something that we watch. There's no shows that we've watched so far that I don't like.
Yeah. And we're not really watching things. We're watching things that have a fan base already. So, like, who would we be to disagree with, like, so many people?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing we've really started that's new, I guess, was Squid Game, which I don't think has a manga, and Spy Family, which I already adore.
Yeah. Reminds me of Naomi Misura's death. The music.
Death Note does atmosphere better than, like, any other anime I've ever seen. When they want to, like, make you feel a certain way with, like, the imagery and the music. Is that, like, a stalker? Or, like,
I guess.
A fanatic? Someone's spying. Mello! Do you think Mello's trailing Kiyomi?
Maybe? I feel like time is passing. Kind of weirded out and curious why we're having this kind of atmosphere when, like, it's not like an L's death or Naomi Misura walking away moment.
Something happened.
He gave up chocolate.
He's getting serious. Like how that's the only sound effect we've gotten.
Nier, it's all taken care of. I did exactly as you asked. I've confirmed it.
Oh, it says she wants to see you. Now all I have to do is wait for Nier to request a meeting face to face. I win.
For the past 3 days, he's continued filling out one page every night after midnight, as he usually does.
Well, then let's begin. I want to meet you.
According to plan.
There is something I must show you pertaining to the Kira case.
Do you really think it's wise to reveal your face to me?
That's true. The very act of showing my face will prove something. And that will bring this case to a close.
As far as I'm concerned, the sooner you realize you're wrong about me, the better.
I'd like to lay out some ground rules for the meeting.
We're willing to go along with whatever you want.
I want to have all the investigators from both teams be present. All of us will be there. Besides our team, we'll also bring along Mr. Mogi. As for Miss Amane, she will be released right before we meet. She'll not be told where we're going.
Okay, Nier, I understand. I have a team of 5 investigators, including myself.
As for our meeting place, Daikoku Wharf. It's known as the Yellow Box. I've already taken the liberty of purchasing it.
All right.
This meeting cannot take place unless I have your word that someone will bring the notebook. As long as Mr. Aizawa can confirm that it's the genuine notebook, I'm willing to place my faith in you and accept his word. However, I do insist that someone other than Elle hold on to it.
The question is, what time?
Mikami makes his judgments after midnight. 3 days from now, on the 28th at 1 p.m.
1 o'clock, huh? That's the exact time I expected him to pick. Near.
Light Yagami.
I know exactly what your plan is, and I'm going to let
We have that wild card being Mello and kind of Kiyomi, right?
I'm a little bit.
Does that mean you can't stay until morning?
Yeah.
He's been staying until morning?
Police are gonna have their hands full for the next 2 or 3 days.
Mello. Are they gonna kill her?
Or kidnap her.
We need to get inside NHN.
It's not safe for her here. Not even inside. Miss Takada, get on. Now!
Hey, you'll be safe with him. Please, you have to go. Right.
I am enjoying this development.
Team A and Team B. Stay on that bike's tail and don't lose sight of them.
What is Mello planning?
Let's get her into car number 7.
What are you doing?
Why did the agent trust Mello like that?
I mean, she knows, like, that Nier and Mello know each other. They're kind of working on the same side in a
So I
way.
guess that she thought it would be okay?
It would benefit Nier's case.
Maybe, yeah.
Or maybe she thought that Nier had a plan with Mello included.
Near. He promised that we'd meet in 3 days' time. What's the meaning of making a move like this now? It doesn't make sense.
I like this person.
Me too.
Why introduce such a good character when there's only like 3 episodes
He hasn't said
left?
like a single
I know.
word. He's just wearing goggles.
It's just the goggles for me.
Car's gonna
Oh,
have
and the
to-
outfit.
How many damn bodyguards does one woman need anyway?
Hey, come on, give me a break. Since when were the Japanese allowed to carry around such big guns? Questions to ask. You won't shoot.
And death is the only way to pay for crimes against Kira.
He's the person that Light warned me to be extra careful of.
He looks good with the scar.
Everything you're wearing and put it all in that box.
Mello!
You can use this blanket.
So he brought something for her to cover herself with. Okay.
Could have had like secondary clothes.
Is that so?
We had one of our members escorting Takada, and they confirmed it. Mello was the one who abducted her.
She let it
Any way
happen.
for you to contact Mello?
No, I'm afraid that would be impossible.
Before I take off the rest, could I please have the blanket so I can wrap it around me?
Whatever you want.
Do you think she has a page with her? Yeah.
It's a big page, too.
Yeah.
Our latest report is that the escort team was forced to shoot one of the perpetrators. They are also still making efforts to track Miss Takada.
Damn it. I
They
need to
shot
get
him
in
like
touch with
tons of
Takada.
times.
There's no way of getting
They didn't have a choice. He did have the gun, but I don't know if they knew he had the gun. Like,
This is the only thing that can be done. Matt, I never thought you'd be killed. I'm sorry.
damn. She can write his name, right?
Light's cell phone.
Light,
Miss Takada? The only reason she'd be able to call me like this without getting caught is if she had an opportunity to get away from Mello.
Or
Okay,
First, your location. Do you know where you are?
but we were on the freeway and I caught a glimpse of a sign that said we were heading to Nagano.
Do you remember the conversation we had when I told you that there might be people who would try to hurt you because of that?
I did what you told me.
Holy.
I did it. Yes. Struggle. Even when he stripped me naked, I did exactly as you said. I made survival my first priority and... Please, Light. I did everything that you told me to.
Remember what I told you to do after that, don't you?
I have to do as many killings as possible while I still can. But Light...
Can you do it?
I can do it.
I did not think they'd kill Mello
Let's get going.
like that.
Matsuda, you stay here and take care of headquarters.
Send me as many names of people to punish as you can. Here's my email address.
If Takeda is calling me like this, it must mean that she's been able to kill her kidnappers. All right, I got the location by tracing the call.
Damn, it'll take at least 30 minutes to get there.
Well, hurry. This is Mello we're talking about. Leave this. Aizawa and Ide are just too stupid. They jumped the gun and got in the front seats without even thinking.
God damn it.
Did Light kill her?
Yeah. I didn't think it would happen.
Or is that, like, Mikami was supposed to do that?
She was probably ordered to light the place on fire before killing her, or before dying, right?
What the hell is this?
Suicide. January 26th, 2013. Burns to death by setting fire to everything around her.
Burns to death.
Everything she wrote on.
Jesus Christ, that was brutal.
Oh my god. Okay, I did not think that he was gonna kill Takeda. I did not. Also, and Mello dying so quickly too, like, when I said that things were gonna be happening fast and ramping either up or down,
I just didn't think this was it was gonna be like this course of events. I'm sorry. Mela said, I'm sorry. What else? He didn't think that he was gonna die. This is all he could do, I think is what he said. This is the only thing that can be done.
is kidnapping her. We don't even get to know what he thought was gonna happen after this, or what gain.
Any shot he was working with Nier, like any shot, this was somehow a plan of Nier, and Nier's gonna be like, holy shit. Like,
or did Mello think that if he did this, it would help Nier catch Kira, so it was kind of like a sacrificial mission?
maybe. The fact that Light had Kiyomi burned to death along with the evidence of the Death Note is fucked up, man. That's dark. That's like really messed up. Burning alive.
It shows that in that particular case, obviously in Way of Death, it shows that he is the killer. It doesn't matter how innocent the person is or how good they are. For some reason, someone who's super a pawn, an innocent pawn, even if they agree with Kira.
Misa's gonna be so happy.
I don't think Misa would love to know. I think she'd love if Light chose her and broke up with Takeda, but I don't think she'll be happy she won because Takeda died.
Maybe. I don't know. Who has the notebook? Like, because wasn't Mikami's like mission to make replica and then hide the notebook, not send it? Because all he sent to her, I thought was a few pages. Yeah. So, damn. All Light has is Mikami for their meeting with Nier, and Mikami's being tailed. It's gonna be a close fight, man.
Does it feel to you that Kiyomi knows That there's a chance that Light's going to kill her.
Yes.
The whole phone call and then how she was acting after, it didn't feel, and she's crying, like she already killed her kidnapper, you know, like if she calls, they can find her, you know, she's safe. But it's like, where are those emotions coming from when they're not just, oh, I was so scared? It's like she's still like, things are bad, things are serious. Like, are you sure she has to keep going?
Do you think that she had some sense of like I don't know, like it was different, even though it was a kidnapper? Do you think it was different for her killing somebody that she's seen like their face and like, I don't know, then like just being like, oh, this is what Kira wants me to do or Light wants me to do?
I think I remember her being very shocked when Light first proposed the idea of her getting a page and then using it and being the one that starts it.
Mm-hmm.
And I vaguely remember feeling like yes, she might agree with Kira and want to be some type of accessory, but it doesn't mean that she wants to be the killer or the one that decides people's fate.
Like, if this was some elaborate plot by Nier, and somehow he got ahead here, the only thing I could think of is like, there's like a recording device that was transmitting from the bike or from something. I'm hoping that's the case because like a little bit at least, because I just didn't expect Mello to go out like that, man.
How does Light know that she can start a fire where she is?
I don't know if okay, like I'm just playing devil's advocate here. You know that somebody was kidnapped with a motorbike.
Mm-hmm.
Gasoline. If you're kidnapped and held somewhere, it could be an assumption that that person has a weapon being gun. You could shoot like at your gas tank, right? It's a lot of jumps, but
yeah, that or
does the fire just start?
It needs to be within what's
spontaneous
possible.
Combustion. So she had to break the glass with her hand and reach through and try to get Mello's. That must have been brutal, dude. I can't believe Mello died.
She totally knows that.
Yeah, she's dying.
Because she knows that once she writes all these names down and they find her with that piece of paper, she knows that that means Yokira could get caught, right?
Yeah.
How does she dispose of all that evidence that she just wrote all those names and that Mello's dead?
What do you think about the intro? Let's see, right? Like the phone call that she has right here, and she's like weirded out by it. What do you think if that was like
Mello calling her?
Or Nier telling her the plan with Mello?
Or like, that he knew Mello was gonna do this.
Yeah.
See, like, I don't know if Nier and Mello would have worked together necessarily on it, but I could totally see Nier reading Mello's movements and knowing that he might pull something like this.
Yeah. Right after we see the shot is when we see Mello and Matt, I think.
Yeah, and he has no appetite for chocolate, which is suspicious. It's
it's like he knew something was going to happen.
Well, I feel like he might have known that this was a suicide mission in some way.
And this is all he could do.
This was all that could be done, was getting one of the pawns out of the way to try to prove who Kira is.
And it kind of looks like, I could be wrong here, but from the shots that we got of Mello in the helmet, like specifically like here, like I could totally be wrong. It kind of looks like it's blocking his vision a little bit. Or like we can't see him a little bit. And then we get a shot from right where Kiyomi gets kidnapped. And then she's like, it's Mello. And we can see his face through it. I wonder if she's like, oh, it's Mello because I knew this was coming, or she can see him.
Which is the question. Who was on the phone with her when she was so surprised?
Yeah. And if that's the case, then there could be a chance that there's some recording device or something.
She's also an agent. She knows that there's no... Okay, think about it. Some guy drove in, did a smoke bomb, and drove out. Yes, the safest place for Takeda would be inside the building. They're almost they're like a couple feet away from it. But she uses the smoke covering to go along with Mello's plan.
Yeah. And then acts like Team ATB, like, she only sends a few cars to go after her when everybody else is going after the assailant. I don't know. There's like a small chance in my mind that this is part of Nier's plan. I don't really know what that does for him. Man, I didn't want him to kill Kiyomi. I really didn't.
Him to kill Kiyomi?
Yeah, like, Light.
Oh, I thought you meant you didn't want Mello to, and because we were on a shot of him, and I was like, oh.
I'm so surprised he's dead.
Light doesn't have a lot of good evidence to support that he is a loving and caring partner romantically. But for some reason, the little romance-loving heart of mine attached itself to him telling Kiyomi that she was going to be the goddess of the new world that he is creating. And I fully believed that he intended on keeping her.
She's there awfully quick, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else is with her.
It's like she knew exactly where he was keeping her.
Yeah. It seems like it was like a meeting place almost.
Mm-hmm. And she's surprised by this.
Yeah.
She
kind of looks like Mello.
She knew.
Mello's sister. My canon.
This is Mello's sister, your canon. I've been watching too much like Criminal Minds lately and like thinking about like how certain people kill in more painful ways or something, and it normally obviously means something. Could be like the gender of the killer, and like death by fire is terribly painful. Not that I've experienced it, but
I hope not.
I have heard that it is terribly painful and horrible.
Burns to death by setting fire to everything around her, including everything she wrote on.
She has to suffer here for a length of time. It's not just like the heart attack takes her out, in a few moments.
Yeah.
It's like she has to actually suffer purely so that the evidence is rid of. And also, Mello's body will be charred up too, so they won't be able to tell how Mello died. They'll think it might have been the fire or something because they were all cryptic on the phone, and he was like, "You know what to do" or whatever.
Obviously, anybody would think it was Kira who did this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would they do it? Because Kiyomi's the messenger and could have like evidence of who he is. Sure. I don't know, man.
Oh, and doesn't it free up Mikami? Because they're still tailing him and watching him, but they know that he wasn't writing in the notebook at the time of Takeda's death and all those criminals.
It does, but I don't know how effective Mikami's gonna be at their meeting. Because that was his plan, right?
Well, is the meeting going to still happen now that this Mello wrench happened?
Good question. I would think so.
I assume it's still going to happen. Yes, but
ugh. Interesting.
Why that building?
I don't know.
Is it really out of the way? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. I don't think I appreciated Mello before he left as much as I probably should have.
I don't think I got to have enough time with Matt and his outfit and was just iconic.
Yo, Matt got like...
And they were like, we were forced to kill him. It's like...
There are people behind him, so maybe they have supervision and they can see that he actually has a gun behind his back. You know?
They kill him and they're like, well, it's not like he would have answered our questions anyway.
It's brutal.
And they shoot him so many times. Like, the dude is obviously dead. And they're like, that's what he gets for going against Kira. It's not, that's not even the police, right? It's bodyguards of Kiyomi. So they did this purely... Are her bodyguards purely just, like, Kira fanatics?
They have to be, right?
And they're not actual, like, just hired to protect her, and they, like, have to also... be Kira fans?
I like Mello. I think he was a cool dude, and he was trying his best.
He didn't really... Okay, what I hope for him is that whatever he did here, something will benefit Nier from what Mello did. I hope for Mello's...
I hope that he actually worked at this trucking job and this delivery job and made some friends.
Well, he made a friend with Matt.
Yeah.
And he didn't think he would get killed.
He did some horrible things too. But I just didn't expect him to die. Alright, that's all I have.
I had no clue. No clue what's gonna happen. Right now it seems like Light is going to win. I don't know, that's what it seems like. It seems like Nier has met his match and it's not gonna go well for him. It's just how it feels right now.
I think I disagree. Like, because it's like 2 versus everybody else right now, and that other person being Mikami, and Mikami has like a tail on him. Like I am kind of the only way Nier dies, right? Because somebody else on the SPK is going to be holding the notebook. The only way Nier dies is if Mikami can see him and write his name in the book, which I don't think would happen if somebody's tailing him. You know?
Well, no one will be tailing him at this time because
all the members of the...
Giovanni's supposed to be there too.
That's true. Good point.
So...
that could be it then.
But Nier must have a plan for Mikami.
Agreed.
Because he knows of his existence.
Mm-hmm. Maybe detain him beforehand?
Maybe?
I don't know. It's a good question, though.
I don't know. Okay.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.